Yes, brother.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, you
Right.
good?
Yeah,
Why is it always so late, man? Like, what's going on? Are you working?
No, do you know what? I switch off at about 6 o'clock. So, anything I've got to get done in the day, I have to get it done before 6 o'clock, and then
Okay.
after that I can do whatever I want. So
Bro,
yeah.
I was thinking like 6 o'clock, man's trying to have dinner.
Do you know what? My missus is annoyed now because
I was trying to have dinner, man.
Yeah.
But how you been during quarantine anyway?
I've been good, you know. It started off a bit weird. Like, it's not what any of us expected to happen. Like, I've only done like 2 or 3 DJ bookings this whole year, so it's not good in that sort of
I
thing.
said 2 or 3.
As it's been,
You're slacking.
I took the whole of January off.
2 or 3. Oh, you took. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I went traveling around Asia for the whole of January.
How was that?
So amazing. It was. Do you know what? I started off the year, kind of wanting to reset and have a clear head for the rest of the year, and it turns out that that's ended up being 6 months of like clearing your head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
what was I saying? Right.
Yeah, like how you been keeping busy during quarantine? What you been doing?
Yeah, so it started off not enjoying it because obviously I'm itching to get out and do stuff. It's normal things that everyone's feeling, right? But then as it's been going on, I'm actually learning to like love the whole idea of the quarantine thing. Right? I've just been in my garden, like I'm learning to enjoy things that I can't normally enjoy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I heard you.
So
I
I'm completely
heard on
happy.
Live, you were talking about cooking. I heard you've been cooking as well.
Yeah. I've always cooked. It's kind of like my second thing that I'm into. Like, DJing obviously comes first, and then cooking after that. But I've always
Is that what you're gonna go into now?
Nah. It's just something that I do for friends and family.
15-minute meals.
Do you know what? Maybe in the future, like not too like the far future. That's something that I could get into because I enjoy it and I could never see that as being a job. So that's kind of what you want to. That's kind of what you want from a job. Do you know what I mean?
What's your whole take on the whole Corona situation? Like, did you kind of think when you're at the start of this period, did you think it will be a short period of time, or did you actually think it's gonna be up till June?
I was in longer? Right. So I was in when this all started in January. I got a load of messages. I'd been to China.
Yeah.
And I was there right at the beginning of January and did all the normal tourist stuff, Great Wall of China. We were there for a good couple of days, and then we went to Thailand, and then I started getting messages like, "Oh shit, like is everything all right over there?" I was in Thailand, and over there everything's fine, but we had to fly back to China. We had to fly back to Beijing because we'd booked our flights Air China, so we could do the round trip, stop off in Beijing. And it was completely different over there. Like it was just like it's more of a serious feeling about the whole thing. So my take on it is
was it quite big over there when you were there?
Well, we had to fly back to Beijing on the 30th of January. So part of China was already locked down at that point, but they'd already started cancelling flights. It seemed a bit more like it was serious. Like it was really serious. Like when we got to the airport, you had to have your temperature scanned. When we got on the plane, they sprayed down the whole plane with disinfectant with you on it. Like and little things like that. And then we got off the plane in Gatwick, and no one even asked what flight we'd been on. And I was just like, this is weird. Like literally, I've just flown from China.
It must have been weird. It must have been weird to come from China, like where the epicenter was, to back to UK where nothing was actually happening.
And no one cared. Like no one cared. And I think that in England people still don't, which is a shame. Like because I do think it is a lot worse than what people kind of think it is. Like, But then I've seen it from over there as well. Like it was serious.
Yeah, I was talking to Walshy about it in the previous live, and I was just asking, like, do you think it's the right time to ease the lockdown, or do you think it's too soon?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I think it is way too soon. I think that I honestly believe it's to do with the economy and trying to save the economy. Personally, even if they ease the lockdown tomorrow, I'm still going to stay at home for a little bit. You know what I mean? That's just me though, and everyone's different. So you've got to respect everyone's decisions for what they want to do. But I do expect the second wave.
I think it's hard because I feel like it's the right time, but then I feel like the second wave is gonna be coming quicker than expected once they ease it.
What's that?
I was saying so. I think once they ease it, the second wave is gonna be coming quicker than expected.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at like the Spanish flu, like it's nearly 100 years ago, but
yeah,
there was a second wave that was worse than the first wave. And I think that's kind of something that you can't really avoid. Like, unless they do make a vaccine, then it's going to be here for a while. But yeah,
well, we already see it.
We just kind of got to accept it and live with it now.
We're already seeing it getting worse because China's gone back into lockdown.
Yeah, but it went back even in England, I don't quote me on this, but I think I've read somewhere today that it had gone down to like 100 deaths a day or something, and then now it's 400 again. So I think that I've seen a lot of things on Instagram about people going around people's houses.
I can't be doing this, man.
That politician guy, he's kind of giving everyone a free pass to go and do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all mad at the moment, we just got to wait it out.
Yeah, definitely, bro. So going to your career, how did DJing start for you?
It started I just started in my bedroom, really, like same as everyone. Like I got some decks. Well, it's actually my sister's old boyfriend right at the time. This is like 2004, 2005. He had decks, and I like had to play on them, and then just got obsessed with DJing. So from there I got decks, and then ended up doing people's birthday parties at school. Like I was the only person with DJ equipment.
Yeah.
So if you had a 16th birthday, I was DJing it. It was either that or you get someone from the Yellow Pages who wouldn't be playing what you want to hear. So because I was the same age group as everyone, it was me. And then it just went from there, really. It must have been about 15 when I started kind of DJing at parties and stuff. And then, I'm nearly 30 now, so it's a long time.
So you've been in the game for a long time now. Like, so what's been like the come up from you from there to now? How's it kind of progressed?
There's been ups and downs. Like, it's not been a consistent rise in like everything. You've got like, I think you've got to expect that no matter what you do as well. But it kind of all took off. It took off in a big way, probably about 2011. And I started doing all the West End clubs like Funky Buddha, Aura, Alto. I posted a picture of me and Colin at Embassy the other day, and that was kind of like, that was when it was a kind of crossover point from me just being a DJ at a club to me going into a club and people that I didn't know were going, oh, that's Max Denham.
Yeah.
That was kind of a crossover point there, I think. But yeah, that was a good era. That was a really good era. How old are you?
I'm 19, bro.
You're 19, young. Yeah. See,
that's young, man. We started. I would have been born. I don't know.
Was that 2011? That's what, 9 years ago. So you'd have been 10.
Oh, that's great. I wouldn't even have known.
Yeah. This is before Instagram. This is I think Instagram had just come about around that time. But it was BBM. Everyone was on BlackBerry back then.
Yeah, BBM.
Yeah.
Bro, like that's what it's crazy, because I was even saying this to a lot of DJs, right? That for us lot coming into the scene now, like obviously you've had 10 years experience already, so you've built up these contacts. So for us lot to come in, it's so hard. Like this is no disrespect to anyone. But
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that. So the thing is, you've got a bigger platform. If you post something on Instagram, like you've got people that are watching that all the time.
Yeah.
Back then, you had a BlackBerry with maybe 100 people in your BBM, and they were the only people you could really, unless you put it to Facebook. I mean, it's not completely different in that way, but it was a lot. I don't know.
But you not agree?
Facebook wasn't the same as it is now.
But you not agree it's harder because
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I think that you can. I think if you blow up, you can blow up a lot quicker now.
No, yeah, definitely. Like
10 years ago, it was all word of mouth, so it was very, very different back then. I used to print up thousands of CDs and hand them out, and then people would kind of pass them around. There was a point when like people would know my name but not my face.
Yeah.
And it was because of the CDs. So someone would come up to you in the DJ booth and go, "Oh, what time's Max Denham on?" And I'll be like, "That's me." And they'd be like, "No, you're not." I'll be like, "Yeah, I am." But they knew me from a CD, like, that didn't have a picture of me.
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than my Instagram, which is pictures of yourself. So yeah.
See, you're going back to those days where you had to walk around with these mixed CDs and everything. Like now, it's just literally Mixcloud or whatever, SoundCloud, whatever. Like
it's the same kind of thing. It's just not a physical copy.
Do you think do you think it's easier to get word of mouth spread like through CDs than Mixcloud, or do you think Mixcloud is actually a big platform now that it's easier to get your name out?
I think CDs was probably a slower process, but it was more meaningful.
Okay.
So if I personally hand you a CD, you're either going to throw that in the bin and not care, which probably happens quite a lot, or you're going to listen to that and you're going to keep that in your car.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, there's kind of a personal element to it, because if I handed you that, do you know what? Westwood used to be brilliant at that. He always used to hand out CDs outside raves and stuff. And he's one of the kings of our scene, right?
Yeah.
But he used to do that. He used to hand out CDs. Like, even when he was like huge. But it's a personal thing. It's good. Like, I don't think that really exists anymore.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, the up and coming artists, sometimes you see them on the street kind of giving their CDs out. But I don't think it happens as much now, because obviously you've got Mixcloud, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, stuff like that.
I think things don't last as long anymore either. Like,
yeah, so I was going to ask that as well. Do you think there's a shelf life like nowadays?
100%. And it's getting shorter and shorter.
It's when we
used to be on, like, when SoundCloud was popping, like, there used to be like I used to probably put a mix out like once a month, and you used to get mad numbers. Like, if I put up like a special one like the Max tape, that'd get like 100k plays on it. But you'd only have to put one up like once a month to kind of keep your name relevant. And I like last year, I had to put out 52 mixes. Well, the aim was 52. I kind of fell short, but only by a few. And what I found was, the reason why I did that was because before I decided to do that, I'd find that the mix was only building numbers when it was charting.
Okay.
Which on Mixcloud, the charts only last for 7 days. So your mix will build numbers, and then as soon as it gets to that 8th day and it drops off the charts, it kind of stays at that. You'll get some people coming back to it, but I decided because of that, I've got every time one drops out of the charts, a new one's got to be in the charts. And I kept that going for a whole year. And I felt like I had to do that just to kind of, it's a lot more hard work now.
Yeah. Did that help your following?
On Mixcloud, yeah, I think it did.
In terms of Instagram following as well, did that help or not really?
Do you know, I've always been quite bad with Instagram. I've not really cared about it enough. Like, I'm not one of them people that posts every day and like does loads of stories and stuff like that. I just, I don't know. I find it's just quite a negative place. It's got,
so you try to distance yourself.
Not even that. It's just, I mean, I think it's better now. Like, I don't know if yours has done this yet, but if you still got the like counts and stuff on your Instagram, does it still say numbers?
The like what?
Like, say if you put up a picture, will you say liked by 500 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine doesn't say that anymore. Like,
why?
Some accounts
you're not in use.
No, some accounts have changed over, right? And they're doing this thing where it just mine will say liked by, and then it will say someone that you know, and it will say others.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, yeah.
It doesn't say a number anymore.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And I feel like the whole numbers thing is just a competition with everyone, and it's negative.
You know
so
what?
I prefer it how it is now.
The whole numbers game and the whole view situation on the lives are just crazy. Like, it's what even Walshy was saying before. Like, it's just bad for mental health as well. Like, it's crazy. Because,
can I say something about the lives, right?
Yeah, sure.
I've decided not to do them. Like, I'm not going to be doing them on Instagram at all. I might do one here and there on Mixcloud, but that's just because I like DJing. But I feel like the ones on Instagram, I've done a couple of them, and I'll find that people are more interested in the number of viewers that you've got than the actual content that you're putting out. And I don't like that aspect of it.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
like people will just be nosing and go, oh, he's got this many, he's got this many. That means he's better than him. And in reality, you need to be listening to what the DJ's playing and how they're mixing it. And I don't think it's about that anymore. I don't think it has been for the whole lockdown.
You know what? For the whole lockdown, I think it's just been about views. In my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Whereas if I put a Mixcloud on, if I put a mix up on Mixcloud, you can choose to listen to that. You can choose not to listen to it. It's not in your face. If you want to click on it, you can click on it. If you want to listen to it, you can listen to it. But if you're listening to it, you're listening to my selection and my skills. And I'd rather have that.
Put your own mixes on Spotify?
If they sort something out with the licensing, then yeah, I could probably do that. But
I think, you know what, like a lot of people, I think Rusky was saying this as well, were on when I was interviewing Charlesy, and he was saying that he wishes that Spotify could do something with the licensing. And
yeah, I mean, Mixcloud have got the licensing, so it's out there. Like people can do that.
Yeah.
But I think that where does it go?
It's still like Instagram. It's like Instagram Lives basically. There's certain songs.
I don't know that. I just think that Spotify and Apple Music and that is such a broad kind of library of music that there's people. I feel like if you're using that platform, you're just going to go straight to playlists.
Yeah.
Rather than to people's mixes. I think that there does need to be a dedicated platform like Mixcloud that you can go and think, oh, I want to listen to a continuous mix because I'm going to the gym or going for a drive. Yeah.
So
I think it's a good thing that they're separate.
So looking at your career so far, what's been a highlight for you? I'll give you two because you've probably done a lot. So
yeah. What's been my highlight? Do you know what? When thinking back to like 2011, 2012, when I kind of left my day job, that was kind of a big deal to me, because it kind of meant that like I'm going somewhere with the DJing. Like this isn't just a hobby. This is actually a job for me. So I'd say something like that, like being able to leave my day job and live off of DJing. And that's a long time ago now. So I've been able to live off of what I love to do for that long. Like I'd say that's a highlight that's still going on. And also Ministry of Sound. I played a main room at Ministry of Sound about 2 years ago, and that, like, if I had to pick a single gig that I could flash back, go in a time machine to, it'd be that one, 100%.
Everyone says Ministry of Sound. What is it about Ministry?
It's just something about being in that DJ booth. There's like a different kind of energy in that room.
Yeah.
And it's just, do you know what as well? When I was probably about, when I first got decks, like that was kind of one of my aims that I wanted to do. Like I was like, I want to DJ at Ministry of Sound. When I've done that, I've made it, right? And then it took a lot longer than I thought it would take, but it happened eventually. And then, kind of just being in that DJ booth and thinking about them thoughts about when I was 14, thinking about that moment and it actually happening, like that's crazy. So yeah, if I had to pick a single gig, that and then leaving my day job was probably the biggest achievement.
So in the DJ industry, who do you look up to? Has it kind of changed since you started, or is it around the same?
Yeah, I mean, I said this. I said this to Kieran the other day. There was like when I first ever got decks, there was a DJ called DJ Hype. It was a drum and bass DJ, and all my records that I bought at first were drum and bass. And he used to scratch, so that's why I kind of learned how to scratch because of him. And then I ended up getting into hip hop and stuff through the scratching side of things. So I started looking more into turntablism and but yeah, I saw DJ Hype in Sainsbury's about 6 months ago, and like I was too scared to say hello to him. I was gassed. I was saying to my missus, like, that's him. She was like, who? But yeah. So I'd say that, and then DJs I look up to, like I've got a lot of mentors in the scene.
Yeah.
So like I'd say Colin Francis, he's kind of always helped me out, and like if I need anything or I need any advice, I can go to him. Also, Master Steps, he's been there for me since day one. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking through old Facebook pictures, and there's one of me and Steps from about 10 years ago in Funky Buddha, and yeah, I think he's always been someone to give me advice. If I'm slipping, he'll be the first person to call me up and say, "Yo, what are you playing at?" Like, so there's mentors that I've got, and there's more of them than that, but off the top of my head, yeah.
So, what makes a Max Denham set unique? Why do people come to your set?
I think it's a mix between technical ability and selection. Like I try not to be boring. I'll always be trying to do new things in the club, scratching, kind of mixing things up in a different way to everyone else. Also, I like to think that I change the energy of the room.
Yeah.
So when I go on, you should know that I'm on the decks. That's how I feel anyway.
So about your scratching techniques as well, how long did it take you to get to where you were with your scratching techniques?
I still practice.
Okay, well, even like let's say to the standard where you think, okay, this is getting somewhere.
I practiced at home for ages, and ages, and then it was probably when I started playing at Funky Buddha, I started scratching a bit more.
Yeah.
Out in the club, and then I just took it from there. But I'd always been kind of messing around at home, but I never did it out in the club until I felt like it was sounding good enough. To do that. Yeah, of course.
Do you ever get worried doing it, or do you just like now it's come to you? No, it's just muscle memory.
It's normal. Yeah, 100%. I don't even think about it really.
So
yeah,
Benji was telling me what you're so expensive to book. Why is that? He's telling me he needs monthly installments to pay for you, bro.
Do you know what? That's you're a commodity. Do you know you're like, as a DJ, you're a commodity. It's like the price of petrol, the price of gold. They go up and down, right? If you're in demand, if you come to me and you want me to play for you, and I can't give you a date for 10 weeks, I can charge you whatever I want.
Yeah, true.
If I've got no work and I need a booking for Saturday, then you're probably going to get a better price. But it's supply and demand. If I can't give you a date, then the date I have got in 10 weeks time, I'm giving you this price. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it. Someone else probably will. And that's the way that I think everyone's got to be. You've got to know. Yeah. You've got to know that you are a product, and if you believe you're good, then you should get rewarded for that.
How did you kind of know where to price yourself at? Because obviously there's a lot of competition between DJs in terms of the pricing and everything. So how did you do you have a contract, or did you kind of just feel like this price was right for you?
I put my money up to like, I put my money up because me and Rusky had a conversation. He was like, bro, you can get more than that. Like what you're getting now, you can get more. Because he was kind of, this was around the SoundCloud era, and it was like, Rusky had like just flown, and he was getting all these bookings, and he was getting paid a lot of money. And then he was just like, Max, you're doing good numbers on SoundCloud as well. Like you can charge more than what you're charging. So I listened to him, and I did, and I've never looked back.
So coming out of quarantine, what's your plan with that? Are you sticking to your same price, or are you lowering it?
I don't know. It depends what the scene's like. It's not something that I need to think about right now. It's not something that I'm going to make any decisions on right now. I think that clubs are either going to have a massive boom, and they will make money back very quickly, or it will go the other way, and everyone's been used to being at home and not going out and not drinking and all them kind of things, and there'll be a bit of a dip. The thing that I've noticed is when there's a dip, it will follow by a big boom.
Yeah.
And it's happened multiple times. Like I've seen the times when every club shuts down, and then a year later, loads of new clubs open. And it's just one of them things. It depends what happens after the quarantine and how easily they lock it down. But I'm not going to make any decisions on money and stuff like that yet. It's not. I don't
think clubs are going to open this year. Personally,
honestly, I don't know, and I think that they should open when it's safe to open.
Yeah. So I heard,
Like, I'm
obviously,
happy to do that. Like,
Ibiza's opening up. Are you taking the flight to Ibiza to get sets, or are you not?
No.
So it's done for this year, kind of thing. You're gonna wait till next
I'm
year.
not. I don't quote me on this, but at the moment, I feel like I'm not going to be doing any overseas bookings this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see it happening.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Because like,
I think the second wave will probably hit in the winter, and then yeah. I'll be happy if I get to go back to Thailand in January. I'll be happy then.
See, it's, you know what? It's weird, yeah. You say, like, in January, not everything, but when you come back to UK, everything was just normal. No one really cared where you were.
There was no panic.
And in 2 months later, we're like this.
Yeah. It should have been like this from day one.
I think it should have been like, we had the data from Italy, we had the data from Spain. Why didn't we use that data? I don't know why.
I do think it had to be eased in as well, because as a nation, we're notorious for not listening to anything that we're told.
Yeah. But like, there was a period like 2 weeks before lockdown actually started, when it started getting worse, and they should have just eased it from 2 weeks before, in my opinion.
Thing is that you can't. I think it's one of them situations. You can't just go, oh, everyone's allowed out, everyone's at the clubs or whatever, and then click your fingers and then go, right, all of you have got to stay in, because then people are going to break the rules.
Yeah.
I do think that they've had to ease it, and part of me is thinking that they're easing lockdown now to have a stricter lockdown after, because it'd be like, all right, you fucked up, it's come back, now you're really locked down, you're not allowed to leave your house. Yeah, which is kind of,
that's the worst way of doing it.
Control of people, like, that's how you get them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. They're just my opinions, though. They might not be true, but that's just how I think.
What's your take on DJs not playing their part in a set? So, warm-up DJ not doing his bit or her bit. So what's your take on that?
What do you mean? Like,
so give you an example. Do you, go to the person who's DJing as a warm-up set and go, bro, like, what are you doing? Or whoever it is, what are you doing? Like, this is warm-up set. Or do you just let them do their thing and then take over the set?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. The thing is, right, I think that if a DJ plays the top 10 biggest tunes before you come on, you should have the ability to be able to work around that.
Yeah.
If you're really that good, you will. And I think that comes from learning and not just playing the main set. Like, you've got to come up. You've got to come up and do the warm up sets when you'll come up, and you have to do the closing sets before you get to do the main set.
Yeah.
And after you've done a lot of closing sets, you'll realize that everything's already been played. I've got to play other things to keep them here. That's when you'll realize that if someone rinses you out, it doesn't really.
Your breaks have got to be deep anyway. Like, it just shows that you're a good DJ anyway.
Yeah.
But like, do you think that's also because they're not experienced enough to know what actually a warm up set is? Because there's a lot of DJs out there who actually don't know what a warm up set is.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's more that they want to show off?
I think it's probably a bit of that, and like I think that if especially if you're new to the game, you want to make yourself look good.
Yeah.
And I probably did it when I was younger as well, but then I learned. So I think I think that DJs, if you do moan about it, think when I was that age or in that stage of my career, was I doing that? And you'll probably say, yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But I think you shouldn't really have a go at people. Just let them do what they're doing and make sure that you kill it with stuff that they haven't played.
So in your opinion, what makes
the thing is, if you look at your Serato, if you're playing for an hour, right?
Yeah.
How many tunes have you got on your Serato?
6,000. I ain't got a lot still.
5,000-6,000. So if I play 10 songs that you want to play, how many other songs have you got left?
No, it won't matter. Like, it won't dent it at all.
And if there's songs that you're not going to play, delete them off your laptop.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, it's like, when you hear it, obviously you may get annoyed, but you're like, well, I've got enough songs to even cover that anyway.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, what makes a good DJ?
I think that everyone has different qualities. So some DJs can be a great DJ and not even mix.
Yeah.
They can just be really good on the mic and be really good at reading a crowd. I don't think you have to have all of the skills to be a good DJ. Like, you can be a good DJ and not be able to scratch. You can be a good DJ and not be able to talk on the mic. You just need your own thing that sets you aside from the other people. I think that's what makes a good DJ. That's what makes a good DJ.
Okay, what's 3 tips? Because obviously a lot of people don't actually know how hard it is to get overseas sets or to get bookings in clubs even over in the UK. So like, what's your kind of 3 tips, or just tips in general to up and coming DJs to get those club bookings?
I don't know how to. I got my first overseas set. It was in Marbella, and it just happened. Like, I didn't ask for it; it just came to me. So it's one of them things. I think that with getting sets in the UK as well. Don't be one of them people that's spamming everyone's inboxes trying to get sets, because it devalues you.
Yeah.
Work hard, put mixes up, make people talk about your name, and then people will come to you. Like, prove yourself, and work will come to you.
Yeah.
So whether it's an overseas booking, a UK booking, if you're making noise and people are calling your name out, people are going to say to club owners, when you get in Max Denham, right, and then they'll have to search me and go, oh shit.
Oh, he's
okay, we'll get it.
Yeah.
No, not even. It's about numbers again, but still, like, even I think that, like, even
I think
like
they look at it for numbers.
A video
as well,
or say I put up a video of my technical ability on my Instagram, they might look at that and think, oh, he's sick, we'll book him.
But do you think it's more about a numbers game though? Like, obviously, I hate to say it, but
it is now. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. It never used to be about that.
Because, like, I feel like the first thing a promoter or manager will see is how many followers you got, and like, if you can bring your followers,
what they bring into the table.
Yeah, what they bring into the table.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the same. That's the same with any kind of business. Both parties need to win.
Yeah, definitely. Because they're a business as well. You're a business, they're a business. So
yeah, of course. Yeah.
They need to find like a middle ground where they can work with.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How have you kind of utilized your social? Like, I know you're not really active on Instagram as much, but how did you utilize your social media to get your big following and stuff like that? Is that more just from the gigs around the world and stuff like that, or has it been through your DJ posts?
Honestly, I think that I think anything that I've done through the SoundCloud thing, I think, was kind of drew people to my name quite a lot, and then I think it's just gone from there. I think it was more SoundCloud than Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, and then it kind of branches off and then moves to that way. But then obviously that's moved over to Mixcloud, and then I think that might be the same now. I don't think people are really necessarily following me for my Instagram, but if you listen to my mixes, I've got way more followers on Mixcloud than I have on Instagram, and I like that.
Yeah,
because it shows that people are interested in what I'm
your
doing
mixes,
for the right
and not
reasons.
just Yeah, that's a big thing. If you have more Mixcloud followers than your actual followers on Instagram.
Do you know what? I follow 0 people on Mixcloud as well.
So your prestige, yeah?
No, I just never. I've never really.
You just never like used using it. That.
When I started using it, it wasn't to listen to people's mixes. It was just to share my content.
To share your content.
I never really listened back to mixes. I never really listened back to them. I literally just upload. I'll make a mix, upload it, and then on to the next one. Yeah. So it's not really a platform for me to use. It's a platform I've got to be searching for the music to put on the mixes. I'm not using Mixcloud. I'm using Spotify playlists and YouTube and stuff like that. So
I said you don't even mix.
No, I'm not a Mixcloud user. I'm a Mixcloud uploader. That's what I do.
See, Kieran knows it's the truth though. Like, it's the truth, to be honest. Because, like, personally, I don't think many people use Mixcloud like an Instagram account. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, so it's one of those things. Ain't trying to hear everyone else's stuff when you're focusing on your own content. Yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're probably the biggest person to do that anyway.
What do you mean?
Because you'll probably focus on yourself first before you even listen to any other person's mix. So let's say if you're dropping
honestly,
a mix,
I don't listen to anyone's mixes.
Doesn't that sound a bit bad though? Doesn't that sound a bit bad?
No. I don't want to be influenced by anyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be influenced by anyone. I'll upload mixes. I don't use Mixcloud as a platform to listen to music.
Okay.
Which is ironic because that's what I upload on all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't use it like that. It's
Do you
just
think your numbers would change
stuff.
if you moved your mixes to Spotify? Sorry.
I'd have to build it up again. What we did with SoundCloud was you'd start posting things out saying moving over to Mixcloud, and then Mixcloud was like starting fresh though.
Yeah.
Because at the time I was uploading on both platforms, so I'd upload on Mixcloud and SoundCloud, and I'd still be getting more numbers on SoundCloud. But because of like the takedowns and stuff, I just had to completely come off of SoundCloud. But yeah.
What's been the highlight in terms of gigs wise? So like, not even highlight, just what's been the best club you DJ'd at apart from Ministry?
Obviously all the international things are good. I remember Master Steps, the first time he flew me over to Dubai, and we did a club called Studio F. I remember that being like a madness. That club's not even there anymore. Like, that was about 2013. But yeah, I remember that being crazy.
Yeah.
First time I ever went to Manchester was good. There's a club called Circle, which is like legendary. My favourite ever club was Funky Buddha though, in London. And I had a residency there for years. It was just going out was completely different then. Like there was like a community of people that used to just come in and out from all over the UK.
Yeah.
Like Funky Buddha was crazy. Like every week there'd be someone like Drake or Justin Bieber or whoever's doing a concert that week would come to Funky Buddha on a Tuesday, and it was just different. Going out was exciting then.
So going back to that as well, do you think clubbing's changed in the sense that it's now more bottle spends and tables and all of that instead of people just coming out for the passion of music and trying to just have a good time?
So that era I'm talking about, like I'd say probably 2011 to about 2015. When did I start doing Funky Buddha? Probably about then, about 2010, 2011. It was more about bottle spend, and people actually had money then. Like people had real money back then, and it was like everyone had, like guys had to go out and buy a bottle, and it was just it was new and it was exciting, and it was before that I don't think people really used to do the bottle service thing. It was the beginning of that. But what's it now? I was young. Like, now I think I see it going back to more of like open rooms, and like you'll play at a place like Gravity in Bristol where it's like it's an open room and there's a few tables, but it's ravers and people that are the younger crowd are not bottle spenders. It's my era, like I'd say around my age.
Or it's the young Russian kids, you know, with the money.
Yeah.
It's that new money thing kind of thing.
I think the West End's kind of more like that. It's more people like tourist kind of people that are over here to spend money now. Like just from what I've noticed. Whereas back then it used to be more people from London would be going out in London and meeting people from London.
So going back to earlier in the conversation, you said that when you were younger, you wanted to play at Ministry, and that was like one thing you wanted to do and achieve. So what else have you kind of achieved that was on a bucket list? Pretty much. I don't really know.
Just I can't really comment because the thing is, I'm always trying to progress, and I think that's the same as everyone. So when you achieve some of the smaller kind of aims that you have, you don't even notice that you've done them, and then you look back and you're like, oh shit, I DJ'd in New York. Oh shit, I DJ'd in Dubai. Like I've played everywhere. Like I can't even say, because when you achieve little things like that, like a booking abroad, and obviously I've wanted to do all of them before they've happened, but then when they're kind of not pivotal moments, you kind of don't even realize that you've done it until you think back. That's bad.
That's probably, to be honest, I'm not exactly the same. Like I'll like look at what I've achieved that I wanted to achieve already, but maybe that's you. Maybe that's how you're doing it.
Yeah,
But
I think that is. I think you kind of just get lost
well, you
in
kind of
what
get
you're
lost
doing.
in your bookings and like what you're doing.
Yeah, like I've been busy for 10 years, like, and Joe, what now? I'm getting like a bit of space for my brain to kind of think.
Yeah,
Like,
you must appreciate this time then, because you must
yeah,
have like you were
100%. Like
probably
I said
traveling
earlier,
like.
I'm absolutely loving the lockdown thing now. Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
gone full 360 to me. For me to like, I'm really enjoying myself.
Mm.
Just sitting here and not having to worry about anything. Well, obviously there's worries, but it's not like there's no pressure.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
pressure's gone.
Do you ever get worried about residencies or losing sets or stuff like that, or is it not really a thing for you now because you got to that level where you probably won't
I've
lose it?
done residencies. I've been sacked from residencies. I've left residencies, and then the last probably 3 years, I've had 0 residencies, and it's just I'll be in Nottingham one week, Birmingham the next week, maybe London the next week, and your calendar gets booked up, but I'll only be
Yeah.
doing kind of 2-3 gigs a week. But it's I haven't had residencies. I think that a Saturday residency is a bad idea for any DJ.
How comes?
Well, once you start getting offers to pay in other cities, you should keep your Saturdays for traveling.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Especially Saturdays. Any other night, like Friday residency, cool. But I think that once you start getting offers to pay in other cities on a Saturday, you should focus on that, because that's where you'll make more money. That's where you'll not get bored because you're seeing a new thing every week. You're playing to different audiences from all over the country, so it kind of keeps your name going more.
Yeah.
I think it's important to travel. It is important to travel.
Yeah, definitely, because it spreads your name.
Yeah.
And obviously it helps your following and helps also like your genres in music and everything like that in terms of your crates and everything as well. So going to the kind of clubbing scene, do you feel as though it's kind of, there's always going to be a space for clubbing, but do you think it's dying out compared to how it was before, and that all these events need to cut, like you're seeing all these events coming up now and they're having to fill the space because these clubs aren't actually capping out, unless it's obviously like a West End club or whatever?
I feel like the West End, well, the clubbing scene from like 2011 was when it really started popping off, I think. Like, obviously, there'd been times before that, but I was younger, so I wouldn't have been. I remember when I first started DJing, people weren't really going out, and that's like 2008, 2009, and there was a bit of a dip then, right? And then it went boom, and me and Colin Francis used to DJ 7 nights a week, and every single venue was rammed.
See, that's what I wish it was like now. That's what I wish it was like, but it's not.
Weekdays, like every day.
Yeah.
And everywhere was busy, and everywhere people were spending money, and it was just people had money. So I think that the end of, say, up to 2010, there was like a recession up to that point, and then it was like everyone had money again, so everyone's going out and spending it. And then I've noticed from about 2015, there's been like a gradual decline in people going out. So then you'll see the odd club shut down here, shut down there. You'll turn up to clubs and they'll be half full. But then there's still busy clubs, and then you'll go there to somewhere else the next week, and there'll be a queue around the block.
Yeah.
But then I have noticed a gradual decline in especially that VIP scene. Since about 2015, slowly dying out.
It is.
And then to the point of 2019 was probably the worst year that I've ever seen.
That has been the worst year I've ever seen
in this industry. And then 2020, the clubs just haven't been open.
We can't even talk about this year. We don't count it as a year, man.
It's got way worse than I ever expected it to. But from what I've seen before, it goes in waves.
Yeah.
So it might be like this for a little while. It might be like this till 2022. And then
to what, 2020? That's a long time though. 3 years, you got to wait till the clubs start packing up again.
So what?
I said, so what? 33,
so what,
bro. 33.
Bro, bro, I still feel 20 in my head. Yeah, I'm still 20 years old in my brain.
You're gonna be
Got more
clubbing till you're gonna
responsibilities
be
and stuff
clubbing when
now,
you're
but
50, innit?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'll carry on doing it as long as I have passion for it.
Yeah.
And if I'm same age as Westwood and I'm still enjoying it, then I'll still be doing it. And that's the reason why he's still doing it.
Mm.
But you never know. I might decide I want to be a chef. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'm waiting for the cookbook, bro.
Whatever I feel like doing, that's what I'm gonna do.
Where's the cookbook?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it.
That?
I said, where's the cookbook? I'm waiting for it.
I don't know.
I said, I don't know.
No, not a book. That's not really the right thing to do. No, I think YouTube channel would be more.
YouTube channel, innit?
Yeah, 100%.
What's your take on like TikTok and all of that? Because obviously TikTok, right, is a massive thing. I haven't got it either, but it's a massive thing, right? And this is what I was talking about with other DJs as well, is that when you come out of quarantine, these songs are gonna be mad because you got people dancing to it like it's the candy dance. You get me? Like, you know, you got Savage, Megan Thee Stallion. Like, everyone's gonna be doing some dance to that.
Yeah, but I mean that's been happening forever. Like, just it's just because it's on TikTok. No. But the like you just mentioned the candy dance. Remember Soulja Boy?
Yeah.
Like Soulja Boy cranked that. Like there's always been songs like that go viral, and then it just happens that TikTok is what's popular at the moment. I find the TikTok thing cringy though. It's cringy.
You know what? The funniest thing, I was talking about this with Gavin from Birmingham, and he was saying that, like, bro, there's some weird people doing some of the maddest things. Like, you know, it's a bit.
But I don't know why you'd want to.
I've seen DJs get on it. I've seen DJs get on it and put their mixes on there.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit. I don't think that's the right move.
Maybe I'm missing something here, but it's not for me.
I said maybe I'm missing.
When did the Max Denham dub get me for Max? That was originally MC Kai did me. I used to be on Shine FM.
Okay.
And he did me a radio jingle that said like, you're listening to Max Denham, and I got a copy of Ableton when I was working in West End DJ and chopped it up. So it said Max Denham, Max Denham, and then I put it onto Pulse X, which was an old garage tune.
Yeah.
And then I started playing that, and then I think it was a club called 195, and I'd be playing it every Friday there, and I'd be it was a thing that my bro, like my mate Eugene, used to run called 19 Fridays. I used to play it there, and then people started getting a little ring to it. And then by the time I was doing Funky Buddha, MC Kai was doing it with me. And he revoiced the whole thing, so it was like a proper version. And then like I'd say around the Funky Buddha kind of era, I used to play it as soon as I went on. Colin did the same thing with his dub plate thing, but it's just kind of, you need to know when the DJ's changed over. And I saw DJ EZ do it a few years before, and that was the moment I decided, like, I need something like that.
You need something like that.
Yeah, a lot of DJs just take over from the last DJ.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you don't know that anyone else is even in the building. So you need to make yourself get noticed.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the best way of doing that? Stop the fucking music and play your name on a song. Yeah.
How do you kind of find DJing with like with the big names? Like, obviously you're up there as well, but before, when you were younger, so like obviously looking at the older photos when you were with Colin, like how do you find DJing with like the bigger names?
When I was that age, Colin and Master Steps, they'd always be in the West End, and they took me in and made me part of the kind of the commute, like the circle of DJs. Yep. So it was more of like, they were more like mentors, as I said earlier, than it ever being kind of like, oh, you lot are the huge DJs, which they are, and you've got to give them the respect for that. But it was kind of more like they grabbed me and said, you're part of us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And kind of pushed me in the right direction, which was good to have at the time, because I think it helped me out a lot.
Have you wanted to do that and take DJs under your wing and kind of get them in the scene?
I feel like I feel like I have. Like, if anyone's kind of needed any help with anything, and I have, like, I'm not going to name any names, but there's people that I feel like I do mentor, and there's
Yeah.
people that even some people, like, I'll phone them up sometimes and be like, "What, bro? Where's your mix? You haven't put a mix up for ages." And I feel like I've had that kind of thing from other people, so I've got to kind of pass that on, and I think everyone should.
Okay, does setup matter in
What do you
terms of
mean?
DJ setups? So obviously you got vinyl,
Yeah.
CDJs, like, so does the setup matter, or is it just easier to enhance those skills if you got vinyl or if you got CDJs or whatever?
I don't think it matters at all. I think play on whatever you feel comfortable on. If you feel comfortable on a £200 controller and you can fucking shell it down with that, then take that to the club.
Yeah.
I feel like you should make yourself familiar with everything, so that if you turn up somewhere and they don't have what you've got, you're still comfortable. Like, there's a mixer that I absolutely hate, an Allen and Heath Zone 62. But I know what every single thing on that mixer does. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean I can't get around using it if I go to the club.
Yeah.
That mixer should be banned, by the way. It's awful.
What's been the worst? What's been the worst, like,
if any club is watching this and you have a Zone 62, throw it in the bin. That's what I think. I'll still use it if I get there, but
I said you'll still use it. You'll cuss it, but still use it.
Yeah, I'll cuss it and I'll tell you your mix is shit, but yeah. God, what's the worst?
What's the worst setup? Yeah, that you've gone to in a club and you've thought, what the hell is this?
I've been somewhere before in Kent and they had Denham CDJs.
I said Denham CDJs.
Yeah, and I'd never even seen them before, and I still use them. It's probably when I was younger, like when I was really young, like CDJs weren't even really in clubs. So when I was like 17 and I was just getting like my first club bookings, there'd be two turntables, so you take a box of records. But obviously records, one, they're expensive, two, they were heavy. You'd get a song and it'd have two sides, and it might have one song on each side, or one side might be the song and then the other side might be the instrumental. So and that'd cost you like £5 to £10 for one song.
Yeah.
So you'd have one box of records, and then I'd take like a little CD wallet for if something was new and I wanted to play it. But CDJs weren't a thing. Like, under the mixer, there'd be like two little CD trays, and then somewhere in the DJ booth, there'd be like this little rack unit. It used to have two little wheels on it, and then like they were mad to use, but you had to learn how to use them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to play what you wanted to play.
How's your take on, like?
Yeah,
sorry, carry on.
Go on.
No, carry on.
Good. I can't remember what I was saying now.
About the rack units and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you had to learn how to play on them, and then yeah, I mean that probably helped all of us that did have to use them out later in life.
So what's your take on, like, DJs, right, who are on after you, and they ask for your history of what you played and stuff like that? Are you all for it, or?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's good. That means that they don't want to play what you've already played. Yeah.
No, because I know some DJs that are like, no, I don't want anyone looking at my history. You should have been here, but you know, stuff like that.
No, go ahead. You might be stuck in traffic, whatever. I don't care. Do your thing. If you want to play a set and play a completely different set to what I've played, fucking here's my laptop. Like, have a look at what I played. Yeah, I think that's better. That's good.
Yeah, definitely.
So that means that you care about it. Yeah.
What's the best event you've DJ'd for?
Event or?
Event. That's how deviating off the subject.
Aces at Plaza Beach. Aces at Plaza Beach in Marbella. Okay. That event, the Maybank holiday one, which we've just missed. I was supposed to be there. That was supposed to be there, single event, I look forward to that. I look forward to that all year.
Yeah. What is it about it? What is it? Just the vibes are just different.
It's just that Maybank holiday in Marbella is crazy. But then there's other events like Obsessions Tuesdays at Funky Buddha. That's probably my favorite all-time ever event. That's not one that's going on now, but
yeah.
Sunday sessions at Faces back in the day, that was crazy. Like, I'd get excited for that all week. Like, when it was Monday, I'd be like, shit, I've got to wait 6 more days.
Yeah.
It was one of them, but it changes all the time. But one I look forward to all year is Plaza Beach.
The Aces,
yeah. May Bank Holiday one specifically, that party is the best party of the year.
What about the May Bank Holiday in Sisu in Marbella? Have you done that one?
I was doing that for years. And then I ended up doing some different deals and then not doing that for the last 3 years. But yeah, probably first time I did that was probably 2011. And I was working with Unique Parties, and then I did that till about 2017. Yeah. And then I did some different deals and ended up doing some other things. But I was doing the Friday at Sisu and then the Saturday at Plaza Beach back then as well. I've been doing that for years. But yeah.
So coming out of quarantine, what's your first kind of steps you're doing? Like, obviously hitting the clubs, but do you want to do your own events? Are you looking at doing that?
Or... I don't like doing them. I don't enjoy it. It's too much stress. I've done them. I've done them. Like, I remember doing a party in Cambridge, right? It was my birthday, and we'd sold, like, say the club's like 500 capacity.
Oh, is this the one Kieran was talking about?
Yeah. Like, we'd sold all the tables out, and we had probably 800 people on a guest list, and it holds 500 people. So I know for a fact, like, it's going to be rammed. And then I get there at 10, and at 11 o'clock, there's probably only 80 people in the club. And I'm thinking, no one's coming. And I know that they are, because people would pay deposits on tables. Every single table sold out. But it's just, there's a kind of stress about it I don't enjoy. It's just not, it's not enjoyable for me. So I'd rather not do them.
What was the first kind of? Yeah, I've done 2 years ago. I did in Central London.
Do you know what I'm talking about though? Do you know that feeling?
It's the worst. It's you know what? The worst thing is the hour before, innit? Like, I don't know if you had that, but the hour before when you're opening, when you're just setting everything up, you're like, is anyone?
Yeah, because you're there and it's early and no one's there.
Yeah.
Shit,
and like even when it gets to 10, 11 o'clock and it's only starting to feel, you're like, oh, is this all that's gonna happen today? Or like,
yeah. It's not a nice feeling. So why are you gonna do that to yourself?
It's so much stress. Like, I know what you're talking about. It's a lot of stress, man.
I think that'd go the more that you do, like, and the more successful your brand gets. I think that would probably go away. But I can't be certain because I've never really put that much energy into doing events.
I think I just had to restart the whole app. It does this like all the time. I think when you go on live tour. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because
when you go on live
tour, you've been doing this a lot, ain't you?
Bro, I feel like they stop.
How many times a day do you do this?
Alright, so I've been doing this for 7 weeks now, and like I started doing once a day, but now I'm doing like 3 times a day or twice a day. So like I've done maybe about 100.
It's good. It's keeping you busy. It's something to do as well.
I'm telling you, man. Like, if you told me 7 weeks ago,
it's increasing all the time as well, right? I mean, more people are being drawn into it.
It's mad, because if you told me 7 weeks ago, that I'd be interviewing Charlesy, Rusky, Mr. Players just joined, yourself, like all these big DJs, that I look up to anyway. Like, even coming.
Where are you from? Where
South London.
Okay.
So I'm not too far, but so like looking up to all of you guys, and then like thinking 7 weeks ago I'd be interviewing you. There's no way I would have thought that. Like, and even I'm not gonna name names, but there are even some DJs who I've interviewed who, when I spoke to on the first week when I started it, just aired it. And then now they're like, oh my god, like I need to get on this. This is looking so sick, like all of that. And I think it's because
you're doing something good. Like,
obviously, no one takes it seriously at the start, obviously, because it's just a new thing.
It's the same with anything, though. It's the same with anything that you decide to do. Like, people are gonna not kind of. It's very few people are the first people to kind of jump onto something, and then
definitely.
Yeah,
like I know there's people doing the same thing and everything, but I'm not fazed by it because I know I've been doing this for 7 weeks now, So like,
you know what, you shouldn't be worried about that anyway. You shouldn't be worried about that anyway, because like the way that I look at it is, people say this about the DJ scene as well. It's like if someone's the biggest DJ, then you can't be the biggest DJ. That's absolute rubbish, because
you can always take their spot.
Look how many
so many
look how many clubs there are in the UK. We can all headline.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
have you always kind of you've never really been fussed about that, or was that when you kind of started you were fussed? Big up Kid Flow as well in the building. I don't
think I have been worried about anything like that. You shouldn't be looking at other people as that are doing the same thing as you as competition, because you can always find things that you can take inspiration from. If they're doing well, you can look at them and go, oh, okay, right, they've done that well. So I think that's more important than feeling threatened by anyone that's doing something that you're doing. Yeah,
definitely. So how do you kind of find it with breaking into circles? Like, so obviously you got a West End circle. That circle's just there. Like, you cannot. It's so hard to break into that circle. But
I don't think it's really there anymore. For you?
You don't think it's there?
There's not really the West End scene that I remember is different to what there is now. I think. I don't really go out in West End anymore, so it might be there, but it might be completely different. But when we were doing it, it was like a community, and it was like people. It was exciting. Yeah.
And now, what you think is just boring? I don't know what the word is.
I don't know. Maybe because I did it for so long.
Maybe because you've grown out of it.
Possibly, yeah.
Because, like, obviously before you were younger,
I was young and it was exciting, yeah.
Yeah. And it was new to you, so you're probably grown out of it. Right. You've done the stuff like, Aces, Marbella, all of that. You've seen like all the other side of things, so you may have grown out of that. Yeah,
maybe. I think you're right. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'll still go back there and do it. Like,
yeah, of course you. I think anyone would.
Yeah.
I
just love DJing though, so.
I was asking Scotty B, what's his biggest money pull up? He said 3,500. How much is yours?
I've got a funny story actually. Right, so me and Kaya were DJing at a club. It's called Project. I think it was Mirror or Project. It's like the other side. It's like the road behind where Libertine is. And there was a party that we used to do called Balling Parties.
Yeah.
And Siaki used to run that. And it's called Balling Parties. It's all rich people.
3.5k. Sorry, it's mad.
Right, so there's a table of guys like literally right in front of the DJ booth, and I play a tune, and he's just throwing 20s, like throwing them, and then we've taken the money. Me and Kai used to always share it, like, because it's like just one of them things, like we're both there. And then the guys come around the back of the DJ booth. He's like, "Yo, that I just did that for show to try and impress them girls over there." He's like, "Can I have that money back?" The guy was like,
"You're lying to me."
Kai was like, "Get out of here, bro! I've spent it." But it really happened.
You're lying to me. Did you give it back to him?
I can't remember what happened. But I think Kai gave him some of the money back, but not all of it. Definitely not all of it. But you can ask him about that. If you have him on it, you can ask him about that. That happened.
Set me up with that then.
Yeah.
Why would you ask for it back if you're throwing? That's like going to a strip club.
That's like going
to a strip. That's literally like going to a strip club, throwing the money on the dancer, then giving it back, but then asking it for it back because you're I don't have the funds.
If he'd have given me a warning and said before, I'm gonna throw this money and it's for show, I'd have been like, go ahead.
So go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Like a stripper, man. I bet you probably felt like a stripper in the booth. Like, were you doing a little twerk?
I felt like I was playing the best tune that I could ever play.
What tune was it?
I think it was at that time. It was probably something like Meek Mill. Like, he was big then, like House Party.
Do you not think he's big now?
He's had different waves. Like, he's been at the top. He's fell off. He's been at the top, which I think is a healthy career, if I'm honest. But yeah, he's huge again. I think the whole thing when he was with Nicki Minaj kind of stopped him from being as big as he could have been back then, because it was, you're Nicki Minaj's guy. Like, it's not. Yeah, Tiger did the same thing though. He's exactly the same.
Yeah.
When he was with Kylie Jenner, he was the less successful one out of the two.
I don't. Yeah, literally, like, but like I don't. And I think I think
after he'd stepped back from that, he had a few of the biggest tunes from last year or the year before.
His comeback was crazy. The biggest comeback. His comeback
not as big as Soulja Boy's comeback.
What, you think Soulja Boy had a better comeback?
No,
what are you talking? He's in prison. He's in prison, bro.
Like, yeah, you never seen that interview on the Breakfast Club?
No.
He was talking about that. They were saying like Tiger had the biggest comeback of 2018, and he was like, "No, he did."
I know, but like Tiger's comeback was massive. Like even Taste gets played at clubs now.
Yeah, still,
like,
yeah.
It's not. There's no shelf. I don't think there's a shelf life on that track.
Do you not think?
I think okay. Well, maybe there might be a period where people stop playing it for a little bit, but they'll bring it back easy because you know the radio will bring it back like in their reloaded section. And
I think that music has a much shorter shelf life now than it used to.
Why is that? Why do you
remember?
That?
Do you remember Drake? Nice for What?
Yeah.
Do you still play that?
No.
That tune.
I want to start laughing at that
though,
because
right?
like yeah.
Yeah, but years ago,
obviously I used to.
That 2 years ago, that tune would have come out then, and you'd still be playing it prime time.
Yeah.
But bro, that's a banger.
I mean, do you still play God's Plan?
No. See what? You're proving me right.
Literally.
You're proving me right. But that was the biggest song in the world then. Do you think that after quarantine, the Box is going to be the biggest tune?
No, the Box is done now. It was overplayed.
Exactly.
It was overplayed too much. Like
but
every time I went out
songs,
clubbing
right. Let me tell you something, right? You see, Chris Brown and Tiger, Loyal, right?
Yeah. Okay, well that's a different tune though.
No. It's a completely different tune, but that was the biggest song in the clubs for a long time. Like from that period. You see, when we started playing the Box, that would have been the biggest tune of the night, right? Like at this point.
No, but you're forgetting, like back then, 2014, that year was the year for kind of the mustard era, that year was the year for music.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the length of time that song lasted.
Okay, so what
compared to the biggest tune now won't last for
2 years. So you think in 2 years the Box will be replayed and it will be banging in the club?
You won't be playing that. No,
that's what I'm saying.
It won't get anything.
But if you play Loyal now, it will get back. It will bang out. It'll bang it like.
And not as much as it used to, but the same time frame. If you'd have played Loyal then and you'd have played it the same period of time, like say 6 months after it's come out or whatever, a year after it's come out, it would have still been one of your biggest go-to tunes.
Okay, but Bobby Smurda, take that. Bobby Smurda, 2014, that track came out. Still now it's banging. Like
you can still play that.
Drop it, everyone's like.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I wouldn't draw for that in a prime time set now.
No, not in a prime time. If you were, I think that's not closing, but you get me. It's like near the end of the prime time.
Yeah, but it's not got the same shelf life.
Okay, what song do you think right now is banging that you think if the clubs open up today, it would bang? I think Drake Tootsie Slide, to be honest, because
I don't know if it would. I think the Baby Rockstar would go off.
No, it's quite slow.
I don't think that matters. Look at God's Plan.
Yeah, true, but like that's a bit different because it had a good drop to it. God's Plan had a drop to it. Like Rockstar,
people can sing
the Baby Rockstar don't have a drop to it like that.
Sick though.
Yeah, okay, it's sick, but like, would it be in a club? Could you imagine yourself playing it?
100%. 100%. I'd play that prime time.
I said prime time. What, 12? As soon as it's 12 or 1, like, you're going.
I'd be playing that, and I'm pretty sure it'd do some damage. And the thing is, if other DJs aren't playing it, then that's a good thing.
Yeah, true. Well, stop giving us ideas there, man. I'm saying Savage, bro. Savage, Megan Thee Stallion. That song will pop. Like, if clubs open this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Bro, every girl will come up to that straight away. Every girl will start dancing.
Yeah.
What's the song you, like, in your sets normally, what's the song you normally throw down for the girls to get them going?
It all depends on the crowd.
Okay, let's say it's your normal crowd, that urban kind of crowd.
Yeah, but I mean, one urban crowd and another urban crowd can be completely different. Like, there's certain places where I could play Kanye West. Kanye West, All Falls Down will always go off anywhere. Like, that's a standard.
That's what I'm saying.
But then for some clubs, that might be too girly.
Yeah.
And they might want to hit Opfot. You know what I mean?
I said up for.
But bro, every crowd's different. You need to be able to decide what you're going to play there and then.
That song died out, to be honest. Like I don't see myself playing that song. I didn't actually bang that song out anyway.
Do you know what? That's one thing that I think, right?
Yeah.
It's always good to go back to songs that went off a few months ago, because the other DJs won't be playing them. And people might still like them. So you've got to have a balance.
True. I think when you come back, you're going to have to just implement these songs like quickly in a set and see what happens.
I feel like I'm going to struggle with the first couple of sets that I'm back.
I think I don't know what people are listening to. No one knows what's happening. No one knows what's even popping.
And I think that when you're in a club situation and you play something that goes off, you're 99% you're going to play that next week.
Yeah.
So where you haven't DJ'd for 4 or 5 months or whatever, I don't know what is going to go off.
No one knows, man. Like,
no.
Everyone's gonna be everyone's in the same boat, to be honest. Like, I think even the people going out clubbing are in the same boat, because they're not even gonna know what's popping in that sense in the club. Like, they could be
supposed to be into,
like they could be listening to see Slide on the way there, but don't even want to hear it in the club. You get me? Like,
of course, yeah.
It's hard to tell, but going back to the kind of shelf life things, like, I think
Falls Down, that's 2004, bro.
Yeah,
2004 that came out, and that is still.
And that ain't even. There's no shelf life on that. You can throw that anywhere. Someone will at least dance to it, or people will sing to it.
I think that goes back to the CD thing, though. I had that album on CD, yeah. So that means something to me. Like, you'd buy a CD, you'd just play that CD until you couldn't play it anymore, until something new came out.
Do you think Graduation was the best album from him? Or School Dropout?
College Dropout.
College Dropout, sorry.
But then Life of Pablo is one of my favourite albums that he did.
I don't know that. It's just
really, I think that's a masterpiece, start to finish.
You think? Okay.
Yeah.
I think part 2 and part 1 of
that Beam. That
part
shit
2, part 1,
goosebumps.
Part 2, part 1 I like, but nah, I'm not really feeling the whole album.
Have you listened to it start to finish?
No, not start to finish. I don't listen. It's weird. I don't listen to albums start to finish.
See, I'm the opposite. Like, I listen to albums start to finish.
Like, I was when I was on the interview with Reckless as well. Reckless was telling me, like, he listens to every song for the full 3 minutes or 4 minutes throughout the whole album.
Also, never, like, you see when someone puts an album out and then you see on social media, oh, this album's whack, this album's whack. I'll still listen to it start to finish, and I'll make my own mind up. Because you can't, like, you can't let other people think for you. Make your own mind up. Listen to it. If it's shit, don't listen to it again.
What's your kind of take on people dropping music now, though? Like, do you think it's the right move for them, or do you think it's not the right move? Because when you come out of quarantine, it's going to be 6 months old or 5 months old or however many months.
See, if you dropped a song at the beginning of quarantine and it was that big, like 2C Slide, that might still, when you play that in a club and no one's heard it in a club, you'll be able to play that in 6 months' time. Because people will reminisce about whatever they were doing when they heard it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's quite important. So I think I can't comment. I don't know until I've tested it.
You gotta just test the waters there. You gotta test it.
Yeah.
Can you do it? Can you do the dance?
No, I can't dance at all.
Alright, go on.
I can't dance. That's why I DJ, bro.
That's why I DJ.
I'm off of the dance floor. Like.
How are you with, like, having people in the booth? Do you allow people in the booth, or you kind of like, I want my own space?
When I was younger, I used to like it. Now it kind of puts me off a bit, and I don't really. I want to be. I don't really talk to people when I'm DJing. Like, when I'm DJing, I will not talk to you. Like, if you come up and talk to me, I can sometimes be quite, not rude, but I'm focusing. I can
tell that. I feel like you just air whoever was saying something to you.
But then if someone comes up to me at the end of my set and I've finished, I've got all the time in the world for you. But I
think that's how it's kind of
someone's
got to be.
Someone's coming up to you and you've got an a cappella and you're about to cut something else in, and it's like you're thinking what you're going to play in 4 tunes time, like, and then someone asks you, like, oh, have you done this? Have you done that? And it's like, but I'm in the middle of something. Like, I don't enjoy that. So I find that the people that are around me a lot,
Yeah.
Like my best mates, like Nick, Kane, Junior, like even my missus, like if they're in the DJ booth, they'll respect what I'm doing.
They'll know what not to
it's
do
when
and
people are in
what
the
to do.
booth that you don't know. Sometimes I don't even know that they're there.
Yeah.
Like I'll be that much in a bubble that I don't even notice that someone's behind me. But yeah, if they talk to me when I'm mixing a cappella, I really don't
You know
like
what?
that.
It's funny you say that as well. I was just clocking it as well. There's sometimes when I don't even know who's entered the booth. Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
sometimes I
cool.
don't even know if someone's even there. Like, even if they were there from the start, I wouldn't even know if
Yeah,
they left
yeah,
or
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's happened
How are
loads
you
of
on the
times when
mic
you
though?
turn around.
Are you rather get a host to do the mic job, or are you alright with that?
I have had to do it a few times, but it's not something that, again, it's not something that I enjoy. It's not. I feel like when I was working a lot with MC Kai, I feel he could bring a lot more energy than I ever would be able to do on the mic. So it was
Is that
better to
because you
work
want
with
to
someone like
put all
that.
your energy into the DJing side of things and not into the mic
Exactly.
work
Another
as
thing
well?
about working with a host, you need to get one that knows when to talk and when to
Not to talk.
let you mix, and you
Yeah.
need to have a good relationship with each other in that kind of aspect of things. You can't just use any host. And one host that works with one person might not be good on your set.
Yeah.
But MC Kai is the person that I have that kind of understanding, and
Yeah.
we don't need to. It just flows. It works.
I think if you've got a good MC, you're blessed. Basically, you're blessed because they can you're controlling music, they're controlling crowd movements as well and everything. So
he in my opinion, he's the best that I've worked with. He just knows exactly what I'm going to do, probably even before I've done it. And
is that because you've been working together for so long as well? So he kind of knows how you play.
100%.
So do you turn up to a gig with a pre-prepared set, or just you're freestyling it throughout the whole thing?
I like to try and freestyle it. I'll have go-to crates. So what I'll do is maybe once a month I'll filter out music and delete stuff.
Yeah.
So if I think, say, Taste, I've been playing that in my set for every week for 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to put that to the side, but then I'll try and add something else in. So say if I'm playing an hour, I'll probably have a crate with about 400 tunes in it. And then I'm probably not going to dip out of that crate because I know roughly what I'm going to be playing.
Yeah, because you've got enough anyway to cover that hour set anyway.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So I know roughly what I'm going to be playing, but then I've still got room to move about and maybe drop this, maybe drop that.
Yeah.
Maybe I've put a tune in the crate that I haven't played for ages that I want to play again. So I'll drop that in. So I think you need to be a bit like that. You need to kind of have a loose structure.
So like a rough idea. Like you don't want to go there with it blind. You want to kind of have something in mind that you know what you're gonna do.
I think there's a balance between the two that you need to have. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you find crowd reading? Did that kind of come naturally, or was that over time, like with experience?
I think that you learn that over time.
Yeah.
I think, like I said earlier, warm-up sets and closing sets are what's going to get you to learn a crowd, definitely. And you have to be able to do both, and you have to be able to do a whole night.
Yeah.
You have to be able to DJ from 10 to 3.
Well, you have to have enough in your crate to, in case something happens, to have a whole night.
Yeah, I think that's the best learning curve for learning and how to do stuff like that. You have to. I still do whole nights.
Do you like the whole night sets, or do you like the 1 hour, 2 hour sets? You prefer it?
Yeah, definitely. You get to pace the night the way that you want to do it. Again, it used to be the Bowery in Nottingham. We used to do aces there. And I always used to say, I don't want to warm up DJ. I don't want to close DJ. I want to do the whole night. Because it was one of them crowds where I could test new things. I could test old things. You could
control everything from the start to finish.
And I didn't want anyone playing songs before me or after me. So I just do the whole night.
Sorry, bro.
Oh yeah, my phone's ringing. I think I've got to go.
That's right. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We can do another one of these though. I think we've still got quite a lot to talk about.
Yeah, bro, definitely. But it's been good. Appreciate you doing this. Like, I know, like, you're busy. I know you're busy, man.
Do you know? You know what? Anyone that says they're busy in quarantine is lying.
What? Okay, yeah, true.
If anyone says to you, "Oh, I'm really busy at the moment," busy doing what? Busy on your phone, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
So busy on your phone. But bro, appreciate this though. Like, we'll definitely carry this on next week.
Yeah, 100%. Just hit me up with a time and that we'll carry this on.
Yeah, definitely. Sweet. I appreciate everyone tuning in. And yeah, I'm back tomorrow. We've got American DJs this week as well, so it's all good.
Oh, who you got this week?
So I have to look through it now. Put me on the spot there. So tomorrow. I can't even find it. You've done this to me. You've done this on purpose.
Yeah, you should know.
Yeah, but like, I've got so many people in it. Wait, it's one sec. Okay, here we go. Tomorrow I have Nana B, Dens, and Dougie Fresh.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so good lineup there. Good lineup. So yeah, I hope if people don't follow me on, or if people who already don't follow me, I'm active every day now on this. So yeah.
Yeah. You're doing a good job here, man. Sweet.
Thank you, man.
Right, I'll catch up with you.
Stay safe,
Thanks for having me on.
See you.
Sweet.
Bye.